Researchers warn that the financial crisis gripping many local universities is undermining research and innovation efforts, with institutions struggling to fund projects to completion. Speaking during an innovation forum at Zitech University that brought together research stakeholders from across the country, the African Population and Health Research Center Executive Director Dr. Catherine Kyobutungi called for collective efforts to revive research hubs in the country. Stephen Marsha with more details.
Speaking during a stakeholders forum, the African Population and Health Research Center Executive Director Dr. Catherine Kyobutungi said most universities have been forced to prioritize basic education delivery at the expense of research and innovation due to financial constraints. Kyobutungi called for urgent partnership between universities, the government and the private sector to safeguard the future of innovation in Kenya. She decried the low investment in research by most African governments, which currently stands at an average of 0.45% of their GDP.
I think I would call upon government to increase the 0.45 or the 0.6. The AU target is 1%, and there are other targets which are 2% of GDP. So if government would invest more into these innovations, at least move them from the innovation stage to the innovation stage and the use stage. So that is one stakeholder. But then the other one is private sector. That the recognition that there's a lot of talent, not just in this university, but in this country. Young people that are really, really highly talented.
Anthony Mudungu, one of the innovators who developed a durable charging cable using the Zitech Innovation Hub, said that lack of recognition and financial support are major barriers for young innovators.
And also we also struggle now from the high cost of electricity, which is also becoming, because most of our production requires a very heavy production machineries, and also heavy taxation. The government can assist us in what we are doing by probably linking us with other institutions that are locally producing other electronic devices that requires these chargers that we are producing. Like you can also other companies that are locally assembling mobile phones that requires the devices that we are using.
Zitech University Deputy Vice Chancellor Professor Alice Njuguna called on innovators across the country to make use of available resources, noting that the institution provides mentorship, funding and international exposure to students with promising innovations.
Industry and the university are two sides of the same coin, right? So we would want to encourage the government to encourage investors to invest in the universities, because that's where the brains are, and also the universities to come up with market-relevant products, because again, what you come up with has to be bought by the market. A number of students doing a lot of robotics and looking at climate change. Like for example, you have an innovation by our students who are collecting carbon credits, who are assisting for collecting carbon credits, so that we can be able to report at the global level, as you heard from the Vice Chancellor's speech.
The stakeholders unanimously called for stronger collaboration between institutions of higher learning, government agencies and the private sector to revive the innovation ecosystem and secure the country's future research and development. They emphasized that without deliberate investment and inclusive policies, Kenya risks losing a generation of talented innovators whose ideas could drive economic growth, job creation and technological advancement. Stephen Marsha, KUTV, Nairobi.
Still on matters education,